Extreme's probably a good way of describing it. You get in, you feel it over your head, your shoulders, and as you're diving in, it just takes your breath away for a few minutes.
It holds you, and you feel a bit like you're floating in nothingness.
Just being out in the sea and just nothing else around you.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's like a massive therapist all around me.
Lifts you out of your brain completely.
The group was formed to train for a long charity swim, and from that, it was a hardcore of open water swimmers.
So initially there was great enthusiasm. It developed over time because once we'd done the river swim, then we could just do it because we wanted to do it. The people that we swim with, they range from the very, very best, like Jim, to real beginners, people who are just exploring and seeing what they can do.
I think it's people that just want a little bit of escapism, a bit of a challenge. And it doesn't matter what you do on land, when you get in the water, you're just another swimmer.
One of the main reasons after starting swimming again was I found that it centered me psychologically, emotionally, physically, and therefore spiritually.
It's a proper connection thing. It brings you back to yourself because you've only got yourself to concentrate on at that moment.
Though you're in there, you're cold, your hands cramp, your face cramps in the winter because of the cold. It's actually quite relaxing, and then it's rewarding at the same time. You know, when you've done the hard swim, you get out, you have a hot chocolate, and you feel like you've achieved something before 9 o'clock in the morning.
It's like you're a bit scared, and it's sort of a sensory overload, and it's beautiful and a bit painful. You can't think about anything else.
It never gets easy, and I suppose that's the triumph every time, and that's where the benefit comes from, where the payoff comes from, because it is such a challenge every time getting in. It's the hard work, it's a little bit of fear, but that's the ultimate payoff.
You feel safe, but you also have this knowledge that the sea is going to do what it wants with you. So you have to be thinking about what you're doing constantly.
I think it's the effect of the sea, which keeps bringing you back to the point where if you don't swim every day, you feel it and you want to do it.
When we first started doing this open water swimming, everybody was in wetsuits because nobody knew how far we could go. And over a few seasons, we gradually started to dump the wetsuits because we're testing it out. And we got further and further and further and realized that you can swim without them. However, still some people wear them, and we don't see that as a bad thing. We see it as a good thing because not everybody's thermal capacity is the same, and it can extend your swimming time. So I think there's a lot of validity to use a wetsuit depending on the person.
Seriously, it is never warm. It gets down to 4 centigrade. And the highest, so it's been as sort of 15 or 16 centigrade. And people in other parts of the world won't even get it in the water when it's at the highest temperature here.
Most people look at you as if you're really stupid or there's something wrong with you, and it takes some explanation. I usually frame it by saying it's a really active and good sport. But the one that sort of slips most people's attention is what you feel after the swim. You're freezing cold when you do it, and then later on, the rest of the day, you start to feel a real warmth. It's something which is hard to describe. Maybe it's endorphins or something kicking in and making you feel really good, but it lasts all day.
Everybody thinks I'm crazy. They can't believe that you go in the sea. When I was a kid, I was always told never to swim in the sea here. And if you did get in the water, it was never to swim in certain parts because it was dangerous. Now you get in and you know the parts that are not as safe as others. You can read what the water does, whether there's a little rip or whether the current is bad. It's a calculated risk half the time. I enjoy just being in the water here. And I know it sounds crazy, but I've swum all the way around the UK and in different parts of the world. But the water here is different. It tastes different, it smells different, and it feels different. A little while ago, there was absolutely nothing on this beach. You get the odd dog walker, they would be here in come hell or high water. It would be chucking down with snow and you still get the dog walkers, but there'd be nobody in the sea. Now, it's brilliant. You get surfers, paddle boarders, kayakers, swimmers, and we're all in the water together. There's like a common bond between everybody because you're all in that water at the same time. And everybody looks out for everybody else.
I would definitely advise it with caution. It's not somewhere where we can just blithely go in there and hope to succeed. It's not for everybody, but you'll find out quickly. As soon as you dip your toes in, if you test it a bit further and a bit further, soon you'll reach your limit and you'll come out. The land from another angle that we don't normally see, it's fabulous. And we don't realize how good that is until we've done it.